Hi guys, welcome to Barksdale's Virtual Academy. Once again, this is a quick tutorial to walk you through how to correctly set up your rough draft for your Pericles essay. So the document that I'm showing you is not a document that I'm actually sharing with you. I'm going to share a blank doc that I'm going to ask you to create your rough draft in. So the one that you're seeing on the screen is my example filled in of what yours should look like as you move forward into developing your rough draft. So the first thing you need to do is set it up into MLA format. Remember, Modern Language Association is the format citation style that we use here at Guilford High School. So in order to do that, you're going to first create a header. It should be Barksdale, or I'm sorry, it should be your last name. In this case, I put my last name, which is Barksdale, and then however the page number, so it would be 1. To do that, you can actually go to insert page number, and then you can select the first option, and it will actually do that for you. So it will insert, and it should be 1, and make sure every page is different from there on. So my next page would be Barksdale 2. Okay. Then it should be your name, first and last. My last name, Barksdale. You don't need to put Ms. That Barksdale is fine. The date the assignment is officially due, which is Friday, October 14th, and then the name of the class, which is European History 1. Then a title, you can call it Pericles' Praise of Athens. You can call it, Pericles, whatever. I don't need a fancy essay title. This is a nonfiction informational piece, so it doesn't need to be like a fancy one as you would create for English, which is usually based on literary analysis. Then from there, I'm going to give you a checklist about what to do for your rough draft. And the checklist will break down for you what you're supposed to do. So the first thing on the checklist is for your introduction paragraph, you need to define who is Pericles and what he did for Athens and how he was connected to the city state or the Delian League. So you would say Athens was and then finish the thought. Athens was the great, if it's positive, you want a positive statement about Athens. If you're not taking Pericles' side, you want to create a sentence, not that's like was the worst ever, because it wasn't, but you can say, was a great place, but it still had flaws that civilizations have. Then you need to introduce who Pericles was. This is not a biased statement. This is simply whatever side you're taking, you need to give factual information. So, for instance, Pericles was a leader who held office in Athens from 461 BC to 429 BC, and he did many things for Athens. This is not biased. This is true. Doesn't matter what side you're taking. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use your textbook pages 122 or 123, and you're going to say some of the things that Pericles did as a leader for Athens. What did he do as a leader? Just not make sure, once again, you're just introducing who this man is and why we would care about a speech that he wrote. Then, if you want to use this, you can. Yet Pericles focused all his attention on Athens and used money that other city-states gave to Athens for protection on improving the city-state of Athens instead of helping Greece as a whole. This ultimately led to the Peloponnesian War. So what you're noticing is I'm transitioning in my introduction to explaining, regardless, once again, of whatever side I'm taking, Pericles did do some naughty things, and he improved Athens, but ultimately made other city-states angry, which eventually leads to the Peloponnesian War. Then what I would do is, if you go back to your Pericles speech, the very top paragraph that was not his words, but the background to the speech, I'm giving you permission to use that as long as you give me credit. So you can say at the end of 431 BC and then use the first sentence of the background on the speech paper. And at the end of that sentence, since it was created by me, just put in me in parentheses so that you're giving me credit. Okay. From there, you're going to then type the thesis statement from your outline, which is really straightforward. And then you're going to say, in his speech, Pericles talked about how you would say the A, B, and C sentences. The government of Athens was unique, the military was supreme, and the society and culture was whatever. And obviously, if you're taking the opposite side, your statements would be negative. Okay? From there, you're going to go to the body paragraph from your outline. And I have a checklist. Once again, everything I'm saying is on the checklist I'm going to provide for you. You need an introduction sentence for each proof paragraph. Then you literally are going to follow the order of your outline. You need to get rid of anything that makes it look like an outline, set it up to look like a paragraph, and then you need to make sure that you go through and you have embedded all of your quotes. Your analysis statements prove how the fact supports Pericles' statement and the proof paragraph. You have transitional words and phrases. So when you switch from A to B or from 1 to 2, those sets don't make sense. So you might have to add in words, another thing that made, Athens strong was, or another thing that made Athens bad was. So you want to think about that. And then don't forget, this isn't on your outline, a closing sentence for the body paragraph, which should close the topic and lead to the next. When you get done with society, you should close out of society, and you don't need to lead into your conclusion. And then your conclusion, which if you did on the outline, you literally would just copy and paste and then format it. Okay? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email or ask. Good luck on your final draft.